20 plants with chilling abilities. It was a hot afternoon in the Jardim das Flores neighborhood, where Dona Maria, a 65-year-old woman who loved plants, took care of her yard as if it were a treasure. It had everything: rose bushes, ferns, even a jabuticaba tree that bore sweet fruit. But what no one knew was that some of the plants there hid incredible secrets. Dona Maria, have you ever seen a plant that glows in the dark? Asked Lucas, his 12-year-old grandson, as he helped water the pots. Shine. What do you mean, boy? Dona Maria laughed, thinking it was a joke. It is serious. I saw it on the internet. There is a plant called Dionea muscipula, the famous carnivorous plant. She eats bugs. And there is another, Mimosa pudica, which closes its leaves when we touch it. Dona Maria's eyes widened. This is something out of a horror movie. No, it's not, Grandma. Lucas laughed. Look, I brought seeds from some of these crazy plants. Do you want to plant with me? Dona Maria, curious, accepted immediately. Okay, but if one of them bites me, I'll throw hot water on you. The two laughed and began to prepare the vases. As they worked, Lucas told them about each plant. This one is Welwitschia mirabilis. It lives in the desert and only has 2 leaves its entire life. Imagine, Grandma, 2 leaves for 100 years. Wow, it looks like something from another planet, Dona Maria murmured, impressed. And this is Rafflesia arnoldii. It has no leaves, no stem, no root. Just a giant flower that stinks of rotting meat. Oh, how disgusting. Dona Maria grimaced. What good is a flower that stinks? To attract flies and beetles, Grandma. They think it is food and end up pollinating the plant. Dona Maria shook her head, in disbelief. The plant world is crazier than I thought. While they were planting, the neighbor, Su Joao, appeared at the fence. What are you doing there, huh? He asked, suspicious. We are planting some plants with superpowers, Su Joao. Lucas replied, excited. Superpowers? Mr. Joao frowned. That's a childish thing. No, it's not. Look, this one is the sensitive plant. It closes the leaves when we pull over. Want to see? Su Joao approached, skeptical. Lucas lightly touched a leaf, and poof. She closed immediately. Holy crap. Mr. Joao jumped back. This is witchcraft. No, it's not, Su Joao. Dona Maria laughed. It's just nature being amazing. And there's more. Lucas continued. This is the Venus flytrap. She eats flies and ants. If an animal lands on it, pack. Close it and that's it, dinner served. I don't want that in my yard. Mr. Joao grumbled. In a little while she'll eat my dog. Ah, Su Joao, don't exaggerate. Dona Maria laughed. She only eats small animals. And this one? Lucas pointed to a pot with a strange plant, full of thorns. It's Mimosa tenuiflora. It defends itself by releasing sharp thorns when someone tries to mess with it. I know that one. Mr. Joao said. I already impaled myself on her once. It hurt like hell. Did you see that? Plants have their tricks too, Lucas said, proudly. Dona Maria was thinking. You know, Lucas, we think we know the plants, but they always have a surprise in store. It's true, Grandma. And look at this, the corpse flower. It only blooms every 10 years and it stinks like a dead animal. Oh my God. Dona Maria covered her nose. Why would anyone want a plant like that? To see it up close, huh? Lucas shrugged. There are people who travel the world just to see it flourish. Mr. Joao shook his head. I prefer my normal rose bushes. At least they don't stink or eat anyone. But that's exactly what's cool, Su Joao. Lucas insisted. Plants aren't just cute. They have abilities that we can't even imagine. Dona Maria smiled. Well, now I have a yard full of plants with superpowers. Who knows, maybe one day they won't save me from something. Or they scare you forever. Mr. Joao joked, before returning home. Lucas and Dona Maria continued planting, talking, and laughing. At the end of the day, the yard was full of pots with strange plants, each with its own crazy ability. Tomorrow we plant more, Dona Maria said, wiping her hands on her skirt. Who knows, maybe we'll discover a plant that makes coffee. That would be great. Lucas laughed. But for now, I'll be happy with the one that eats mosquitoes. And so, between laughter and discoveries, The two learned that the world of plants was much more surprising than they imagined. And sometimes the simplest things hide the biggest secrets. End. But it wasn't all laughter and fun. The next day, Lucas woke up to a strange noise. It sounded like a low hum, coming from the backyard. He rubbed his eyes and went to the window. "How strange," he murmured. Outside, the mosquito-eating plant was moving. It wasn't just a rustle of leaves in the wind. She stretched, as if she were looking for something. Lucas's eyes widened. "Donna Maria!" he shouted, running to the kitchen. She was already there, drinking her coffee. "What happened, boy? Did you wake up too early?" "The plant. The one that eats mosquitoes. She's moving on her own." Donna Maria almost dropped the cup. "What do you mean, moving?" The two ran away. When they got close to the pot, the plant stopped. She remained quiet, as if nothing had happened. "It's sore," Lucas pointed out. She was stretching herself. Donna Maria scratched her head. "Is she hungry?" "Hunger for what?" "Mosquitoes." "But you don't have any here now." Suddenly, a sharp buzzing sound cut through the air. A swarm of mosquitoes appeared out of nowhere, flying in circles near the plant. "Look at this," Lucas exclaimed. The plant's leaves opened like arms. The mosquitoes were sucked in one by one. Within seconds, there were none left. Donna Maria turned pale. "This plant doesn't just eat mosquitoes, it attracts them." Lucas swallowed. "Is this good or bad?" "I don't know," Donna Maria replied. "But I think we need a notebook to write everything down. Before any of these plants do something unexpected." Lucas agreed. But deep down, he knew that backyard would never be normal again. And suddenly, the idea of a plant that made coffee didn't seem so crazy anymore. Lucas took an old notebook from his backpack. He leafed through the blank pages. "Let's start with the name. This one called a mosquito. What do we call it?" Donna Maria scratched her head. "How about decoy plant?" "Cool." Lucas wrote it down in crooked handwriting. "And the one who makes coffee?" "Cafe di Mata." Donna Maria smiled. "Matches." Suddenly, a sound of rustling leaves came from the corner of the yard. The two turned quickly. A tall plant, with purple leaves and shiny thorns, swayed slowly. In the middle of it, something moved. "That wasn't there yesterday," Lucas whispered. Donna Maria squinted her eyes. "Not even." The leaves opened. Inside, a small, red fruit pulsed, like a heart. "This isn't normal," Lucas muttered. The fruit came loose and fell to the floor. It rolled until it stopped near Donna Maria's foot. She lowered herself slowly. He picked up the fruit carefully. "It looks like a cherry." "Don't eat," Lucas almost shouted. But it was too late. Donna Maria had already taken a bite. The two were paralyzed. Waiting. Nothing happened. "It's sore." Donna Maria laughed. "It's not poisonous." Lucas sighed in relief. But then, Donna Maria's eyes widened. He put his hand to his throat. "What it was?" Lucas asked, nervously. She opened her mouth. But there was no sound. Just a weird squeak. "Donna Maria." She pointed to her throat. Then onto the fruit. And then, he started laughing. A strange laugh, as if someone was squeezing her belly. Is everything okay?" Lucas stammered. Donna Maria shook her head. He took the notebook and wrote quickly, "I can't stop laughing. But it's not funny. It's like someone is making me laugh." Lucas looked at the fruit. Then to the plant. "That's the forced laughter." Donna Maria nodded, still laughing uncontrollably. "We need an antidote," she managed to say between laughs. Lucas ran to the coffee plant. "Does the coffee nullify the effect?" Donna Maria picked up a cup. He took a big drink. The laughter stopped immediately. "It worked," she exclaimed. But then, he started crying. Tears flowed for no reason. "Is it crying now?" Lucas almost laughed, but held back. Donna Maria wiped her eyes. "This plant is a danger. We need rules. Like, not eating anything without testing it first? That. And don't touch young plants without gloves." Lucas looked at the yard. Now full of strange things. What if we find one that, I don't know, makes us fly? Donna Maria sighed. Then we write it down and hope we don't fall flat on our faces. They both laughed. But deep down, they knew that the backyard held more surprises. And not all of them would be funny. Lucas scratched his head, looking at the plants as if they were bombs about to explode. What if we make a map? Like, write down where everyone is and what they do. Dona Maria took an old notebook from the kitchen drawer. He leafed through the yellowed pages. Good idea. But I warn you, this notebook already has my notes. Things I saw there. Lucas approached. He saw strange scribbles. Sneezing plant, don't smell it. Purple flower, makes you talk in rhymes for an hour. Did you already know all this? I knew some. Others. Well, I learned the hard way. Lucas's eyes widened. Like that time you disappeared for 3 days? Dona Maria laughed, but looked away. Yeah, that time. But let's not talk about that now. She took a pen and drew a square on the paper. Let's go. First, the laughter plant. Then, the coffee. And that one there, he pointed to a cactus with red flowers, has already put the neighbor's cat to sleep for 2 days. Lucas wrote everything down, but suddenly stopped. Wait. What if we forget one? Dona Maria closed the notebook tightly. Then we find out on the skin. And hope it's nothing worse than splashing glitter. Outside, a wind rustled the leaves. One of them, small and golden, fell at Lucas' feet. He bent down to pick it up. The leaf burned his fingers. There. Lucas jumped back. Dona Maria ran to him. What it was. This leaf. It burns. Dona Maria looked at the plant. Her eyes widened. Oh, no. I know this one. What? It's the burning dandelion. It doesn't just burn the skin. If you eat it, it makes a person feel warm inside. Very hot. Lucas swallowed. Like fire in your stomach? Worse. Like fire everything. 4 hours. The two were silent. Lucas kicked the sheet away. Okay. New rule. No picking up fallen leaves. Dona Maria agreed. And no eating anything that shines. Or that it has thorns. Or that it smells too sweet. Or that a scuffling noise came from the back of the yard. The two turned around. Among the plants, something moved. Something big. Lucas held Dona Maria's arm. What is that? Dona Maria squinted her eyes. I don't know. But I don't think it's a plant. Whatever it was, it crawled behind a bush. All you could see was a shadow moving. Let's go, Lucas whispered. I agree. They turned around and ran into the house. They locked the door. Outside, the noise stopped. But something knocked on the window. They both jumped. It was just a moth. A giant moth, with wings that glittered like metal. Dona Maria took a deep breath. Okay. Final rule. If something moves on its own, we pretend we didn't see it. Lucas nodded, but didn't take his eyes off the window. What if you can't fake it? Dona Maria took a broom. Then we run. Or hit. Or both. The moth flew away. But the backyard still held secrets. And now, something new was waking up. The two remained quiet, listening. The wind shook the leaves, but there was another sound. A low hiss, as if something was breathing. Did you hear? Lucas murmured. Dona Maria gripped the broom. I heard. Suddenly, the plants near the fence started to move. It wasn't the wind. They stretched, as if they were watching. That one there, Lucas pointed out. The big, red leaf. The plant looked like a giant hand. The leaves slowly opened, showing something in the middle. A flower. No. It was an eye. One yellow eye, with a thin pupil like a cat's. That's not possible, Dona Maria whispered. The eye blinked. Lucas took a step back. Do you see? It's not a plant. Or it's a plant we've never seen before, Dona Maria replied, but her voice was shaking. The eye moved, following the two. Then the entire plant tilted, as if preparing to jump. Run! Lucas shouted. The two darted into the kitchen. Dona Maria slammed the door and locked it. But before they could breathe, something scraped against the wood. Touch. 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 Paused. As if you were learning. What do we do? Lucas asked, his hand sweating. Dona Maria looked at the broom. Then to the window. We wait. And pray it's not their dinner time. Outside, The hissing grew louder. And then, several other plants began to move. The kitchen was silent. You could only hear Lucas's heart beating hard. "They're getting together," he murmured. Donna Maria gripped the broom tightly. Or communicating. Touch. 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 Now it was coming from all sides. The door shook. A thin crack appeared in the wood. "It's not safe," Lucas said, looking at the ground. "We need to get out of here." "Through the window," Donna Maria pointed out. "It's tall, but better than becoming plant food." They ran to the backyard. Lucas climbed onto the railing first. He looked down. There are a lot of strange leaves there. "Don't step." Donna Maria jumped. She fell a little crooked, but got up quickly. "Let's go to the gate." The two ran. The plants behind them stretched, as if trying to catch up. One of them released a thin branch that almost caught Lucas' arm. "Faster!" Donna Maria shouted. They arrived at the gate. It was locked. And now? Lucas looked at the street. "Do we scream?" "Shout what?" "Help! Killer plants!" Donna Maria shook the lock. "Don't open it." The hissing got louder. The plants approached, slowly, as if they knew they were in no hurry. Suddenly, an engine noise. An old car stopped in front of the house. The neighbor, Suzhou, came down. "What's going on here?" he asked, looking at the sweaty two. Lucas pointed to the backyard. "The plants, they are so alive." Suzhou laughed. "Ah, that's your grandmother's thing, Donna Maria. She always liked playing with plants." "It's no joke." Donna Maria almost cried. "They're moving." Suzhou frowned. He went to the gate and opened it. The plants stopped. They remained quiet, as if nothing had happened. "It's sore," he said. It was just windy. Lucas and Donna Maria looked at each other. Had they imagined it? Then one of the nearest plants shook a leaf, as if waving. Mr. Joao didn't see it, but they both saw it. "Let's go," Donna Maria whispered. They ran away. They didn't even look back. The gate slammed behind them. Lucas held his grandmother's hand, squeezing it tightly. "You saw that, right?" he asked, panting. Donna Maria did not respond. He just shook his head, eyes wide. They stopped on the sidewalk, out of breath. The sun was already setting, leaving everything orange and purple. And now, Lucas looked at the house again. The plants looked normal, but he knew they weren't. Donna Maria took a deep breath. "Let's go to Aunt Lucia's house. She understands these things." "But what about Suzhou?" Lucas pointed to the neighbor, who was still looking at the yard, confused. "He didn't see anything," Donna Maria murmured. "Just us." They walked quickly, almost running. The street was quiet, just the sound of crickets. Suddenly, Lucas stopped. "Wait." Donna Maria turned around. What it was. "We can't leave the plants like this. What if they—" "I don't know, attack someone?" Donna Maria bit her lip. "You are right." They looked at each other. Neither of them wanted to go back, but they needed it. "Let's just take a look," Donna Maria said, trying to sound brave. Quickly. They returned slowly, tiptoeing. The gate creaked as they opened. The plants remained quiet. But now, Lucas swore they were waiting. A breeze passed. The leaves rustled. Donna Maria pulled Lucas by the arm. "No. We are leaving. Now." They ran away again. This time, they didn't stop until they reached Aunt Lucia's house. The door opened before they knocked. Aunt Lucia was there, with a strange smile. "I was waiting for you," she said. Lucas and Donna Maria exchanged a look. How did she know? "Come in," Aunt Lucia said, seriously. "There's a lot to explain." Aunt Lucia closed the door behind them. The house smelled like herbal tea and something else. Something sweet, like burnt honey. "Sit down," she pointed to the worn sofa. "You are pale." Lucas couldn't sit still. "Aunt, those plants." They moved. Donna Maria clasped her hands in her lap. And he had a voice. "Or I'm going crazy." Aunt Lucia sighed. He picked up a cup from the table and took a slow sip. "No, no, no. I should have told you earlier." "Telling what?" Lucas almost shouted. "That's some plants. They're not just plants." Aunt Lucia placed the cup on the saucer carefully. "They listen. They feel. And sometimes they want something in return. Dona Maria's eyes widened. Like favors? Like souls, Aunt Lucia murmured. Lucas felt a chill. But why are they in the ladies' backyard? Because I take care of them, Aunt Lucia replied, simply. They give me things. Medicines, protection, even money when I need it. But it's not free. Dona Maria swallowed hard. And what do they want now? Aunt Lucia looked at them both seriously. You. Silence. Lucas felt his heart beat in his throat. Us. Dona Maria whispered. They felt your fear, Aunt Lucia explained. And fear is like fertilizer for them. Makes it grow, makes it stronger. Lucas stood up suddenly. So we are screwed. Aunt Lucia shook her head. Not if we act quickly. She went to an old cabinet and took out a bottle with a dark green liquid. This is Ottoman extract. If you throw it at the roots, they stay quiet for a while. For a while. Dona Maria repeated, scared. Yeah. Until they find another way to get attention. Aunt Lucia closed the bottle tightly. But there's something worse. What? Lucas almost didn't want to know. They don't like to be ignored. And when they get mad. She stopped, as if the words were too heavy. They start to sing. Dona Maria put her hand over her mouth. That voice. Yeah. Aunt Lucia confirmed. And whoever hears it can't get out. Lucas looked at the door. So we have to go now. Before they wake up for good. Aunt Lucia nodded. But they can't go alone. She took a rusty machete from under the sink. I'll go with you. Dona Maria held her arm. Auntie, no. If they want you to. They've wanted me for a long time, Aunt Lucia said. But I won't leave you two there. Not after what they saw. Lucas took a deep breath. Then let's go quickly. Before they sing again. The three left in silence. The night was darker now, as if the stars had disappeared. The yard seemed bigger, the shadows longer. And then, suddenly, an icy breeze blew by. The plants rustled. All at the same time.